Okay, let's be real. Is the job hunt just crushing you right now? If you feel like you're lost, you are absolutely not alone. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down a really clear step by step method that will help you cut through all that noise and finally land a job you actually want. If you're ready to take back control, let's get into it.
Right. So, first things first, let's talk about the modern job hunt maze. Because, that's what it feels like, doesn't it? Like you're stuck in this giant, confusing maze with no map and honestly, no exit in sight. It's frustrating, it's demoralizing, and trust me, so many of us feel this way.
So, let me just ask you straight up. Does the job hunt feel impossible? You know that feeling, right? Where you're firing off applications into what feels like a total black hole, and all you get back is crickets. Or worse, those instant, soul crushing automated rejection emails. If you're sitting there nodding, yeah, you're in good company. This is a super common feeling. And look, this isn't just in your head, it's not just a feeling. We've got the data to back it up. Check this out. The 2024 Youth Voice Census found that only 10% of young people believe they can find quality work where they actually live. Let that sink in. Just 10%. That feeling of impossibility, it's real. The numbers prove it. And that pressure, it's not just about the job search, is it? It's everything. This quote from a student really hits home. I feel overwhelmed. I can't keep up. You're juggling your studies, maybe a part-time job, trying to have a life, and somehow plan your entire future. All at the same time. It feels like you're constantly falling behind. Man, that is such a heavy weight to carry.
Okay, but what if I told you that a huge reason you're struggling actually has nothing to do with you? Seriously, what if the biggest barrier isn't your skills or your experience, but a hidden gatekeeper, a system that's rejecting you before a real person even sees your name?
Well, meet your new nemesis, the Applicant Tracking System, or ATS for short. Think of it like a robot bouncer at the front door of your dream job. It's a piece of software that pretty much every company uses to scan and sort all the applications they get. And here's the kicker. It's not a person. It's an algorithm. And its main job is to find reasons to say no, not to see how awesome you are. And this right here is why it's so frustrating. On the left, that's your CV, the one you poured hours into, making it look perfect, maybe with cool columns or creative design. But on the right, that's what the robot bouncer, the ATS, often sees, a garbled, jumbled mess of text. It can't read your fancy formatting, so it just freaks out, says error, and boom, your application goes straight to the digital trash can. So think about that instant rejection you got last week. The one that stung? Well, chances are it wasn't a person who even looked at it. It was probably one of these things. A parsing failure. That's just the robot not being able to read your CV. Or maybe you answered a knockout question the wrong way. Or you were just missing a few keywords. See? These are technical glitches, system errors. They are not a reflection on you as a person. Okay, so now that we know who the real enemy is, the system, it's time for a huge mindset shift. This is where we go from feeling rejected to building a real strategy. We're going to stop taking this so personally and start treating it like a game that has rules you can learn and win. And that, my friends, is the heart of what we call the volume experience method. I want you to tattoo this on your brain. Say it out loud right now. It's not personal, it's algorithmic. One more time. It's not personal, it's algorithmic. The robot isn't rejecting you. It's just a dumb machine that failed to match your data points to its pre-programmed checklist. That's it. Once you really get this, it takes all the emotional sting out of it and puts the power right back in your hands. And this is the next piece of the puzzle. From now on, rejection is just data. It's not a judgment on who you are. This is the experience part of the volume experience method. Think about it. An instant rejection, that's data telling you, hey, maybe my CV format is tripping up the robots. A rejection after a few days, that's data saying, maybe my keywords weren't quite right. You're not failing. You're becoming a detective, gathering clues. So what do you do with all these clues? You use them to play the numbers game. This is the volume part. Look at this chart. Sending out just one perfect application that you spent a week on, that's basically a lottery ticket. The odds are just not good. But applying strategically to, say, 40 different jobs, using what you learn from each rejection, that's a system. That's how you go from a 2% chance of an interview to making 1 or 2 interviews likely. You're turning wishful thinking into a predictable outcome. All right, mindset is locked in. You get it? Now, let's talk about the how, the VEM Action Plan. This is the step-by-step playbook you can literally start using today. This is how we turn all this theory into actual interviews in your calendar. And look, this isn't about spending 8 hours a day job hunting. Nobody has time for that. It's about building a simple, sustainable routine. A little bit of focus time on Monday, an hour on Tuesday, an hour on Wednesday. You check different places, job alerts, LinkedIn, niche websites. And the most important part, you track everything. This creates momentum, and it's the antidote to feeling completely overwhelmed. Okay, this is so important. You have to learn to speak the robot's language. On the left, you've got what a human understands. Good with customers, can use computers. But the ATS, it doesn't get that. It's looking for the exact keywords from the job description. So you need to change your language to what's on the right. Customer service, point of sale systems, complaint resolution. Literally copy and paste the key phrases from the job ad right into your CV. That's how you get past the gatekeeper.
So you beat the robot. Awesome. Now you're in front of a real human, and you need a different tool. Let me introduce you to your new secret weapon for interviews, the STAR method. This is pure gold. It stops you from rambling and helps you tell a perfect, concise story that proves your skills. You just follow the steps. What was the situation? What was your task? What action did you take? And what was the result? Seriously, practice this, and those tricky tell me about a time when questions become a piece of cake.
And here's that tracking step we were talking about. And please, don't overthink this. It can be a super simple spreadsheet, just like this one. But doing this is a game changer. Why? Because it puts you back in control. You know who you've applied to, when to follow up, but most importantly, this is where you analyze your data. You start to see patterns. I'm getting interviews for these kinds of roles, but not those. This is how you get smarter with every single application. And here's the thing. This whole method, it's really not just about getting this one job. It's about learning a system you can use for your entire career. It's about making a shift from being a passive applicant just hoping for the best to becoming someone who actually influences their own career path. And honestly, that's the whole reason Jumpstart-Careers exists. Because look, the real win here isn't just one offer letter. The real goal is to build a system for yourself that creates options. Because when you have options, you have power. You get to choose the job you want, not just the one you can get. It puts you firmly in the driver's seat of your own life. And this really sums up our whole philosophy here at Jumpstart-Careers. We don't want to be some guru shouting directions from a mountaintop. We want to be a guide that's right there with you on the journey. Our job is to listen, to ask the right questions, and to give you the tools and the confidence to find your own path. That's how you become a real influencer in your own career. So let's circle back to this idea. I really want you to take this with you. Every single rejection is one step closer to your yes. If you know that on average it takes about 40 applications to get that offer, then that rejection email isn't a failure. It's just number 29 out of 40. It's progress. You're just working through the numbers, getting closer with every single no. Look, your yes is out there. It's coming. This system really does work, but you have to actually do it. So the only real question is, are you ready to start? If the answer is yes, then make sure you subscribe to Jumpstart Careers because we're going to have way more guides just like this. Let's do this.